me, it's been revolutionary, the carnivore diet in terms of sleep. As an autistic individual, I always mention this because there's going to be someone in the audience who doesn't realize I'm autistic and it could relate to them. So, but you'll find your sleep will go down in terms of duration quite a bit. What I've typically seen with clients is, assuming they're transitioning, they were keto or were mixed diet beforehand, it's about an hour to an hour and a half less sleep they're getting. They notice no training performance dips, nothing abnormal, no mood swings, no digestion issues, no dry skin, no unusual lowered libido, nothing like that. Nothing has changed. It's just they're sleeping more efficiently. For myself, I sleep about, right now, maybe 3 or 4 hours if I'm lucky, which is forced, which is with medical cannabis, which I'm legally prescribed, and also with magnesium at night with a liquid zinc supplement, which I find somewhat helpful. For me, if I don't sleep, I'm not a pleasant person, hard to deal with. It makes my life a living hell. My quality of life goes down to about 1 if I don't sleep well. So I can't basically have a night without sleep, basically, ever. What we'll say is I'm a bit more, I can be a bit more motivated as well, in that I don't get up in the morning and sort of get up late, 8, 9 o'clock if I've not slept much. I get up when the light is up, because I realise I can't gain back that sleep just by sleeping in the middle of the day. Some people can do it, I personally can't. So I'm better off just resetting my day back to square one. So doing the same, going outside, light exposure kind of thing, first thing in the morning, open the curtains, pitch black curtains, things like that, blackout curtains. Getting out twice during the day minimum in the sun. I was out in the sun today for about 3 hours, grounding as well, so getting some proper sunlight. That's when you build up your melatonin in your body. You get the biggest surge of melatonin in your body, actually, believe it or not, in the morning. That's when you build it up. Then you release it at night. So that's the way the sleep cycle kind of works. The way I look at it is, for me, the carnivore diet is first in biohacks, or, essential life hacks. The second would be the sleep side of it, or the light side of it, I guess you could say, is more important. That's what I found the most helpful. The way I kind of see it is, light gives us timing, and food gives us information. So how do you get that food to work well, and vice versa? So really, if I was saying anything, they're probably 50-50 in terms of importance, but you can't do one without the other. And I consult with a lot of people that are going to bed late at night, 2 in the morning, and wonder, oh, my digestion's not good. Oh, I can't eat properly. Oh, I'm still addicted to sugar. My dopamine's all over the shop. That's probably why. You can't neglect sleep. There's no way out of it. I do recommend melatonin supplementation to some people. If they are shift workers, I do consult with a lot of shift workers. There's a way of storing up more in your body, but it's not an absolute hack in that you can't get back to square one and regain your health. Inevitably, something will crumble. So that's my brief summary on sleep. We've got a question here from Andy828, which is thoughts on taking magnesium for improved sleep. We'll go around the board again, so we'll just go to Ben, Phil, then Coach Stephen, and I'll give my short take on magnesium. So have you experimented before, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take, magnesium citrate in water later on in the day. You've got to be a bit careful you don't put too much, and you put in, half a teaspoon. You could find it's got an Epsom salts like effect. Can I say that I've noticed a mad difference? I don't know. I mean, I'm not very proud of my ability to sleep so much, but it has definitely got better this year. So yeah, I can't say I noticed a massive difference with that, but no.
Yeah, I've used it, and I think it can really help. Sometimes, just a little bit, as Ben says. Don't take too much, or you don't want to be pooing the bed or anything, because it definitely has that effect. But yeah, a little bit. I have noticed difference. Not a massive difference, but sometimes, if I'm a bit wired or whatever at bedtime, I've taken it. I don't take it regularly for sure, but yeah, it can definitely help. Stephen?
Unmute. Yes. Well, I noticed you said magnesium citrate, but you could also look at magnesium glycinate, because the glycine is actually a neurotransmitter, which has a calming effect on the brain. So if it's not working for you, then you could look at the different type of magnesium. And also, you don't get the magnesium shit rate effect. So glycinate might be the answer, I think, there. I mean, magnesium is known to regulate neurotransmitters, so it is the best sort of supplement. Shame Richard isn't here because he would be able to talk about it. And again, things like muscle relaxant properties, people with cramps, they take magnesium because it relaxes your muscles. So it also relaxes you when you're anxious. So if you're having trouble sleeping, there might be many reasons for that. Overtraining, for instance, you might be cramping. So magnesium does have a lot of benefits. And as none of us on this screen are selling supplements, it's not a sales pitch. It does work. And I think if Richard was here, he would be able to say, I've got some pretty good supplements you could look at. I'm not sure whether he agrees with me. People seem to think that all of us all agree on everything. And I think magnesium glycinate, it personally is the one I would go for because of its sort of multifaceted role as a neurotransmitter in its own right, the glycine. So that would be my take. And I will ask Richard, actually, the next time I speak to him, and he'll say, no, that's rubbish, Stephen. Do the citrate. But anyway, that's my take on it. But I definitely think it's something worth trying if you're having problems with sleeping.
Just a really quick one before Jonathan jumps in. Epsom salt baths as well. You don't necessarily have to take it. An Epsom salt bath before bedtime, very nice.
Well, that is magnesium for people that don't know.
Yeah, it's a magnesium sulfate. It's a sulfuric magnesium. So you do have to use quite a bit. So you'll notice if you guys are looking to use magnesium salts, you're using a lot of it. It's not like a little capsule. It won't work, obviously, because the molecule of the sulfate, I can't pronounce it, is way too big. But yeah, magnesium bisglycinate is the best one for sleep. Also the most simulated, best digested, with the least amount of side effects. There's a few others. Magnesium taurate, perhaps useful after the gym, maybe. A few others, magnesium chloride. No one ever really takes that, to be honest. It's usually in cheap energy drinks or electrolyte powders. Usually magnesium citrate is a bit of a better option because you get more per milligram. Magnesium bisglycinate, again, like Coach Stevens said, glycine is a precursor to a neurotransmitter called GABA. So people find that if you can get the magnesium glycinate, the glycine component of it up, it's quite helpful. The studies on glycine specifically are around about 3 grams. That's what they tend to say is quite helpful. So the capsules you're buying probably won't have enough in it to really make a big jump. Does the glycine to help you release more growth hormone, help sleep better, things like that.
Jonathan, any of you, any thoughts on L-threonate for sleep?
L-threonate, that one's used more for mood disorders. It passes the blood-brain barrier a bit quicker, a bit better. If someone's got depression, anxiety, but it's hard to say. Maybe they're anxious because they don't eat enough meat, in which case eat more meat or have some taurine or magnesium taurate. So there's individual roles for amino acids. The only thing I'll say is you do pay significantly more when you start going to the upper echelon of which got molecules with magnesium. Magnesium itself is cheap as chips. It's what you buy it with. Magnesium citrate, chloride, quite cheap. Bisglycinate, a bit more expensive, but it's absorbed a bit better. You're less likely to crap it out. I would strongly advise people not to use magnesium oxide because I've met a lot of people that have crapped that out. And this may surprise some of you. I've consulted with over 400 carnivores at this point, or keto carnivores. And I'll say most of them, use magnesium supplements. So it's not uncommon to use them at all. It's more common than not. I'd say maybe 60%. They all tend to use either magnesium citrate or magnesium bisglycinate. They seem to notice the beneficial effects. If we look epidemiologically, if that's a real word, I think it is, I don't know. People tend to be low on magnesium because there's not much in the soil as well. So of all the supplements you could take, D3 probably, magnesium probably. The rest of it is hit or miss. Should we go into a little segment now about some maybe potential amino acids or herbs that might be useful for sleep? So it could be a good segue.
I was just going to say, I'm actually experimenting with Thorne's magnesium malate citrate mix. And the malate is the malic acid for the Krebs cycle.
The Krebs cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's After 5 years, I'm still experimenting. So I can't say whether it's made a difference or not because I've only been doing it about a month. So I also practice what I preach because many people think, well, I've been doing this 2 weeks and there's no change. Your body takes a little while. And I can't say I've noticed any difference at all in anything. But Thorn, apparently, it's a well-respected brand and it's a good mixture. So I'm going to give it till the end of May to see if it makes any big difference. And this is where dose is very important because I've started with 1 tablet a day. It's not made a difference in the last 3 weeks. So I'm going to try 2 a day, just see what happens. And then if after the next 2 weeks, nothing happens there, I'm going to finish with the recommended maximum dose on there, which is 3, and just see what happens. So I think that the reason I'm saying that is because many people listen to our advice and think it's going to be magic and it's going to be instant, but it isn't. Your body is adaptive. It's an adaptive thing, and it just takes a while for all these things to work through, or conversely, for things that you've taken in the past to work out of your system. So if you are trying to improve sleep and you do, let's say you get magnesium glycinate and 3 days later you're still not sleeping better, try not to flame us in the comments and just give it a little bit longer because it will take a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, for sure. The molecule of some of these things that it's attached to is too big. Malate, for example, you're looking at 2 to 5 grams. So anyone that's wondering how big an average capsule is that you buy in the shop, 500-600 milligrams maybe. So if you're looking to get the malic acid side of it, the malate, you are going to be taking several capsules, by which point, unless you're a 100-pound, 4-foot tall female, you're probably going to get nothing from it. So the clinical dose just isn't really there, but you may find some benefit. Some people are hyper responders to these sort of little things. One thing I've been using recently, just because while we're on the topic, I've been using ashwagandha and L-theanine. I've been using last thing at night before bed and straight after the gym. I've been using those supplements. They're quite helpful, and I'd say I do feel less edgy. I'm not eating much food, guys, so I do feel a bit edgy at times, as anyone would. I'm basically starving myself for a bloody plastic trophy, which is nuts. But it seems to be helpful so far. And with all these things, all these recommendations, I say to people, add it in, do what Coach Stephen says, try it for 2, maybe 3 weeks, find the dose, find if anything works. If it doesn't, take it out, stop using it. Don't waste your money, spend your money on better quality food, take your friends out, take your family out. Do something which you enjoy, because that's going to help you sleep better at night than spending fucking, excuse my language, sorry, 30 quid a month on supplements that probably don't work.
Build muscle and lose fat on the carnivore diet.